Alex Jones here with a message to fellow freedom lovers. The prognosis for the entire planetary economic system runs from bad to worse. The globalist model is to shut down societies and starve patriots out until they acquiesce to the global takeover. That's why we've assembled the most vital and important preparedness items at InfoWarsShop.com. These are items that I did research on, that I personally use. We've got the Life Straw, so you can turn fetid water into safe water anywhere you go. The K-Tor hand crank generator to charge up key equipment during power outages or out in the field. Strategic Relocation, 3rd edition by Joel Skousen. When Disaster Strikes by Matthew Stein. ThyroSafe, used by Homeland Security to protect yourself during any radiological event. Hand crank shortwave AM/FM radios. Everything that we've researched and found to be the best is available at InfoWarsShop.com, and your purchase makes our InfoWar possible. We're getting prepared. Are you? InfoWarsShop.com. Alex Jones here to tell you about how you can help spread liberty worldwide while also enjoying what I have found to be the best tasting 100% organic coffee on the planet. For more than a decade, my favorite coffee has come from the high mountains of southern Mexico, where the Chiapas farmers grow their unique shade-grown Arabica beans. We have now managed to secure these sought-after beans in a highly customized blend. Discover and try a bag of the Patriot Blend 100% organic coffee at InfoWarsLife.com. This coffee gives you a long, smooth pick-me-up for hours without the headaches and heartburn that so many other coffees give me personally. Hands down, this is my favorite coffee, and it's taken us years to secure connections directly to the Chiapas Mexican farmers. Drop by the site today, order a bag or two, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Available in original or with our Immune Support Infusion Blend. You will be supporting a free press, all the while enjoying a truly great-tasting cup of my favorite coffee. Available at InfoWarsLife.com. Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gate, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filters today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. It's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
You've heard my ranting so far. I got a bunch of news I'm going to hit briefly and then go to your phone calls. The toll-free number to join us is 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. First-time callers with good telephones, which is very rare nowadays. 800-259-9231. Again, I think it bears more than just one day of talk. Obama's #1 threat, he says, to America is a bomb going off in Manhattan, in the middle of New York City. That would make Obama a dictator instantly. So if that happens, and they've been making the preparation for a dictatorship of the bureaucracy, they may not want Obama to be that guy. It may be the next guy. I mean, if a nuke went off in New York and Rand Paul wasn't involved, they could nuke and then have such a crisis going that Rand Paul would be impeached if he didn't come out and agree with the Pentagon and whoever they blamed. And then he would be offered martial law powers to save America, and he would be assassinated if he didn't agree to become dictator. And I'm not saying that's going to happen with Rand Paul, but he could end up being president. In fact, there's a good chance he'll end up being president. In fact, there's a good chance he'll end up being the next president. There's that much of a wave of libertarianism. I'm saying the mind of the wicked New World Order is they're not going to give up their main Hydra head, the U.S., that they've captured. I mean, it's the big one taking down the world for them. Because we had the moral high ground, we had the free market, we had the wealth, we had the fighters, we had the dedicated military people. We were the best. We were exceptional. Putin says, yeah, last year, stop saying you're exceptional, so it's okay for you to do all this. Well, we're still exceptional, exceptionally evil, exceptionally overrun with corrupt people, exceptionally decadent. We drink more liquor on average than the Russians do now. We're drinking ourselves to death. And I'm not up on some high horse, folks. Let's get all that straight, but I can recognize what's wrong with our society. And half the time when I go off on some tangent, I don't even know where it started. The point is I want to hear from you, 800-259-9231. And, you know, I wake up at 3, 4 in the morning freaked out about the fact that if I was the New World Order, I'd set off a nuke in New York City. And I've been saying that for about 5 years. And I just the brain is an electrochemical computer with the unconscious, the subconscious, and the conscious. The subconscious is incredibly powerful. Probably some scientists think 100 times more powerful than the conscious mind, because the conscious is focused by the cerebral cortex and is tiny. And you've got a general attempt at the subconscious to be able to access that. And I'm able to access my subconscious by understanding the archetypes. But hardly anybody's in contact with their unconscious. Only in a dream state do you access that. But top cops throughout the ages who are known as great investigators can't tell you why they know who did it. And like every time are right. And those guys come along through history. They do not want those people now in law enforcement. Those people are always out there naturally. And now they're phasing them out and going for folks with below 100 IQs. Because smart people have empathy. Smart people will buck orders that are obviously wrong. Smart people don't want their kids growing up in a corrupt society, so they won't take the payoff more often than people that have low IQs. Smart people are more honorable generally because they have an idea of what's really valuable in this world. But when you sit here and you look at how corrupt our society has become, it is just a nightmare situation. And I naturally can study all the data, all the dots, and then not even know why I go on air and say they might, in fact, I think they're thinking about nuking New York City so they can attack and blame the Iranians and the Russians while clamping down domestically, and then now they're hyping it. And some would say, no, they're getting talking points from you. I've had people tell me that. Stop the scenarios you come up with. Oh, give me a break. That's a no-brainer. Because I can then say, at a conscious level, I don't know why I'm saying that, but then I can walk it back. Well, no, I know their history. I know what they've done in the past. I know what they've hyped. I know what they've done. I know what is ingrained in the archetypal fears from the Cold War, duck and cover. I know about the missing nukes. It only takes a small team to plant the bomb. It's easily deniable. Very small teams, very compartmentalized. You can jacket it in whatever isotope you want to frame whoever you want, and then just thousands of other points come in. I could sit here for literally 12 hours with a tape recorder going. The crew's seen this when we're doing stuff. I can sit here for an hour and just spew the reasons. That's the problem. My conscious brain has to go to the next area and go, data retrieve, zzz, data retrieve. Zzz. Why do I think that? Zzz. Instead, I can just go, they're going to nuke New York. If I was them, I'd nuke New York. That's like a detective hunch. Because you just got all the data. It's not a hunch. You've already got all the data, and you, bam, sandwich it in. It's like top profilers that are able to actually, after tracking somebody for years, actually pick the next area they're going to kill and be waiting for them. Because you get in the mind of the enemy. And that's what's so horrible, is that I know what these people are thinking, and it's horrible. It's horrible. And it just goes on and on and on and on. And I don't know if they're going to set nukes off in New York. They might hit Dallas. They might hit Denver. They might hit Cleveland. And why do I say that? One time, I saw Gary Hart and Warren Redmond about a year after 9/11. On Hardball again, the same place they announced 9/11 in July of 2001, they announced the attack. Somebody's got to dig the tape up. They said things are about to change in America. And, of course, Chris Matthews is high level, worked in multiple administrations, kind of a Karl Rove type for Democrats. He got really excited. He goes, thank you. What is this announcement? And it was all a tell to the establishment with very thinly veiled, heading up the Council on Foreign Relations reorganization plan, Hart-Rubin Commission, under the RAND Corporation, directives, but prepared by Council on Foreign Relations to reorganize America into an authoritarian police state. You can go read the report, issued 10 months before 9/11. And Gary Hart, 2 days after 9/11, said, we're going to use this disaster to bring in a new world order, while chairing the Hart-Rubin Commission at the Council on Foreign Relations headquarters in New York City at Pratt House, and it was on C-SPAN. And they're on the show, and he says there's going to be big buildings, they're going to be coming down, there's going to be army on the streets, this is going to be the change, this is going to be the beginning. And Rudman's looking at him like, oh, man, this is hardcore. And they're very proud of themselves because I guess their plan got adopted by the PNAC plan. They merged those two plans, the Hart-Rubin Commission with the PNAC New American Century plan. And they were just publicly announcing it to the establishment. And I went on air the next day and I said they're going to blow up the World Trade Center and blame it on their asset, bin Laden. Because I'd already seen all the pieces. And then when they did that, I knew about globalist bragging. I just learned about that after, I don't know, I'd already been on air 6, 7 years at that point. Yeah, 6, 7 years. So I clicked and went with my gut on that, and then they did it, of course. I didn't have enough power to stop them. I said, call the White House, tell them don't blow the World Trade Center up and the rest of it. That's all on record. There's video of that, audio of that. This time, I saw about a year, or maybe it was 2 years. It was 2003. And I saw the Hart-Rubin Commission on there again, and they said, the terrorists are going to nuke New York, Dallas, Cleveland, or Denver. And, of course, when they nuke those cities, no one is going to go back and say, why did those two guys say that on there? Because that was a message to the establishment, get out of those cities. Probably 10 years before they do it. I guess it's 10 or 11 years now. I mean, you start learning these are psychopath gang leaders, literally ring wraiths giving orders over television to each other. That's why they have the Pentagon reading newspaper articles and op-ed pieces and ads for code words for crime groups and others, because that really goes on. People pay to have things put in the newspaper because the operative doesn't even know who's hiring them. And they'll have people working at a news agency where the news agency doesn't even know they're an operative writing an article to give orders. The best place to give orders is in plain view. And I sit here now, and I see them giving orders all the time. I can't even watch the news when a globalist is on, because a lot of times they start giving orders, and I'm trying to figure out exactly who the orders are to. I mean, I cannot run a giant counterintelligence operation by myself is what I'm saying. I've come to that realization. I literally have the mental tools to understand these people and fight them, but no one could do this by themselves. And I'm not, it's just freaking me out. I mean, I know this is real. I wish it wasn't real. I wish it wasn't happening, but it is. I told you they had hubs in all the buildings, all the telecommunications buildings in 1996 to grab all your data. I didn't have a hunch on that. I was pointed out by engineers what was in the Telecommunications Act. And all I'm trying to tell new listeners is this stuff is real. The information unfolding is real. And I can be wrong about little things here and there, and my interpretation might not be correct in the final equation. All I know is in the general direction I'm going, we're dead on. And I know there are a lot of good people in the system. But I don't know what to do, okay? All I know is I told you if they start hyping nukes going off in Manhattan, I probably said this 300 times the last 5 years. If they start saying, get ready for nukes to go off, they're getting ready and are seriously thinking about doing it. And the targets are Manhattan, Dallas, Cleveland, and Denver. Now, they may change and hit something else, but people that I saw publicly call the 9/11 attack said that. And they did what they said they would do the first time.